Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as the title says, it is my November BoxyCharm unboxing. Now I like to test out the products as they come out of the box, so that's why I have nothing on my face right now, because one of the items, I know it's usually like eyes and lips and complexion and stuff, but one of the items is a lip mask and I already peeked inside. So I wanted to not mess up my makeup with that. So let's jump right in. So the theme of the box this month is sweater weather, which is really cute. And it has 5 items, as it always does. The box retails, again, as always, for $21 and comes with 5 to 6 full-size products. So the first item I'm going to pull out of the box are these 3 KNC Beauty all-natural collagen lip masks. Now, I have never used this brand. do I have any more? Yes, I am a fan of lip masks. This one is from Jean-Pierre Cosmetics. That's one that I do like. So I haven't used this one yet, but I'm happy to try it out. This retails for $15 for the 3. And all it says is innovative jelly mask for your lips that hydrates, moisturizes, and plumps with all natural ingredients. So I'm going to try this out. The directions say to leave for 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to throw that on and I will be back in 20 minutes. Now I am having a little bit of trouble getting it to stick. Masks like this I've used in the past. You kind of peel it off, throw it on your lips, and it has no problems. So I can already say that I don't think I'm going to love this. It better do a lot of hydrating and plumping to make up for how difficult it is to get to stick. Okay, so it has been 20 minutes with the lip mask on, and I don't feel all that hydrated. I don't feel all that plumped. Kind of not feeling that, but who knows, maybe it'll, tingle a little bit. But I'm gonna go and do the face off camera, and I will be right back to go right into the next item in the box. All right, so I finished the face off camera. The only thing that I have left to do is basically what's in the box. I need to go over the rest of that. So I did prime and set down my eyes with translucent powder and going back into the box. The next 2 items are going to be the Luxie Quad Eye Travel Set with BoxyCharm, which is a 4-brush travel set. And we have gotten Luxie brushes in the past from BoxyCharm, so they're smaller. It's a small handle, but they are adorable. So we just get the plastic off and we can go over what they are. These are the 4 brushes. We have just a fluffy all over the eye crease brush. We have a blending brush. We have a denser packing brush. And then we have a flat brush for really getting into the lower lash line and for precision placement. So with that, we got a WinkyLux Kitten palette with BoxyCharm, which mine came in a little beat up, but that's okay. The colors are very pretty. There are some nice mattes in here. There are some neutrals. And then you've got these really pretty green, gold, and cranberry colors. And I'm excited to see how this works. So, starting off with the fluffy crease brush, I'm going to be taking this top right-hand shade, which is called Strut. The names are on the back. And I'm going to be taking Strut all over the lid and focused in the crease. First thing I will say is that the shadow is going on very pigmented and it's blending nicely. I don't love such a short brush because I do like having a little more control and being able to hold a brush from further away. But ignoring the handle, the brush is blending quite nicely. It is a very soft bristle, but it's actually blending the color nicely if you notice. It's not just throwing it on there, which is nice. So I'm going to do that on the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, so the crease is now defined with those on both eyes. Before I forget, the quad travel set is a $32 value, and the palette is $25, which I guess for $25, the packaging, it's a little flimsy and it's a little cardboardy. It makes sense. The closest comparison I would have would be the Makeup Geek palettes, but like those have a mirror. They're a little bit sturdier. They are like double the price, so I get that, but it's just the closest comparison to that like 9-shade cardboard packaging. with the blending brush, I'm going to be taking the shade Boots, which is this dark one down here. Now I know it's a 9-shade palette, so you're not going to get a lot of neutrals, but the fact that you have just like a bone white highlight color, a crease color, and then you're right onto your dark, I usually like a second or third transition, but I'm going to go in and hope that it blends nicely. It is picking up quite a bit, so I'm just going to take that into the crease. Yeah, like I thought, it's a little darker than I would have liked for the second color. I typically would have liked to have gone in with a second transition shade, maybe even a third before I finally got to a shade this dark. But, I mean, it's working. It's just not exactly the progression of colors that I like to go for. Okay, the shadows are performing and the brushes are working. The one thing I will say, when I'm traveling or I'm packing, I will always pack full-size brushes. So, I mean, I get they're giving us a travel set, and I'm sure there are people who do like these small little packaging for brushes. Personally, I will pack a whole roll of brushes before I will go with something like this, but it is working. So, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that cranberry shade called Cheshire. I love the, like, how everything is cat related. Anyway, I'm going to take a little bit of Cheshire just to deepen the outer V, and I'm going to be taking that on that first fluffier angled brush and just kind of pack that on and blend that just in the outer corner. And then with that fluffy brush again, I'm just going to blend all of that together. Taking the flat packer brush, now I'm going to use this for like 2 different things. So first, I'm going to take just the fluffy part and take that light color we started with, Strut, and just run that on the lower lash line. Then with the flat brush, I'm going to be taking the dark brown again, wrong side, the dark brown again, and this is Boots, and I'm just going to run that really close to the lash line. Okay, this is the first brush so far where I really like the short handle, because I found it was much easier to get into the lower lash line versus using my normal brushes. And I'm just going to blend the two together with that other brush, but on the top, I don't love it. On the lower lash line, I think these brushes are really good. This shade right here, called Holographic, is like a pink and green duochrome. I'm going to take that into the waterline. Okay, I don't love that. Now, I prefer to use a powdered shadow in the waterline more often than I will use a cream gel liner. And this is actually giving me a little bit of like an issue and it's making my eyes water. Normally, I don't have that problem at all when I take colors right in the waterline. So, just something to think about. I'm going to wet the packer brush. And I'm going to take this green color in the center called 9 Lives. And I'm going to put that on the lid. Ooh, that picked up a lot. Okay. Okay, there is quite a bit of fallout, so I'm actually going to take it on my finger and just pack that on a little bit more. And then to make the eye pop, I will be taking the gold color called Cat Eye, and I'm going to be haloing the center. Again, I'm going to do that on my finger because these shadows tend to fall out a lot. I'm going to finish that on the other eye and I'll be right back. What it is doing, because it's so much going on up top, the bottom of the lower lash line seems a little bit less everything. So on that flat brush, I'm going to take a little bit of the cranberry berry shade, and I'm not going to go in the waterline. I'm actually going to go under the lash line just to add a little bit more warmth under the eye. and I'm going to blend that out. The color selection is pretty. Some of the shadows worked really well. Really, these like metallic shades, I'm not loving the way that they kind of muddy everything up. But that is BoxyCharm. Sometimes you get great stuff, sometimes you get stuff you don't love. This is not my favorite item I've received, but the brushes I think are actually really good now that I play with them a little bit more. Okay, so I did throw on a little bit of glitter just because I felt like I needed it. I don't love those shadows. Like now that it's on and it's been on for a little bit, I'm not creasing. They're looking good for the colors. Maybe layering the metallics was a bad idea. So playing around with the mattes blended really nicely. But what I will say is kind of like commit to one of your metallic colors. Don't try and layer them. Some of your like higher quality palettes and your nicer palettes, you can totally start layering metals on top of metals and it just gives you different undertones and different blends. This, I would definitely stick to one at a time. So now that the eyes are done, the last item in the box, last two items. First, from Laqa & Co. Cosmetics, it's one of the Cloud Lips. It is an airy matte lipstick that provides full coverage, light as a cloud. So this is in the shade, Storm, which it looks black, but it actually swatches like this berry color. So I'm just gonna take that on the lips. I'm not gonna line because I do wanna see if this bleeds and how easy it is to work with. So I'm gonna just throw this right on. First thing I will say, this is very light and it does feel very, airy on the lip. I love the way the pigmentation is working. I'm loving the way it's pigmented because it definitely takes a little bit of layering to get this like deep berry color, which kind of gives you this soft red outline, which it's giving you almost like a lined effect. But as I mentioned in an earlier video, I'm obsessed with the Kelsey Anna Fitzpatrick like Soul Eater lip, which is just this dark and gradienting out into a lighter color lip. So I'm loving the way this applied. And finally, the last item in the box. Oh, the lip retails for $17. And the last item for $31 is the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, you know that I am an oily mess, so I will never go near an illuminating anything. But because it came in the box and because it's fair, I am going to try it. So I have heard great things about this, and that it is one of the best misters on any of the setting sprays out there. And it says shake well, so shake well. So let's see. Oh, that is a beautiful mist. Okay, so I'm hoping that it's not super glittery, but I'm going to set down the face and see what happens. Okay, so there's a little bit of shimmer in there, and you see, I'm gonna let it dry down a little bit more, but I am seeing myself a little bit more dewy than I normally go for. I am normally all matte all day, but I don't hate it. So this is something, maybe I'll use like a mattifying setting spray in the center and just use this on the perimeters of the face just to get a little bit of a soft glow, because that's not normally something I go for. But all in all, I'm not hating it like I thought I would. Okay, so all in all, this box retailed for $120 even, which since I paid $21 for it, that is fantastic. Let's go through the items and see how we feel. So first, the lip mask that I used, and I don't even know where I put the other ones, but I am not a fan. I don't think it really did anything. I have used masks like this in the past, and this one kind of did nothing, so I'm going to pass on that. Next up, we have the WinkyLux palette. What I will say with this is, as long as you use it correctly, I think this could be very enjoyable. I did not like the way the metallic shades layered on top of the eye, but now that I'm looking at it, it is very pretty and the colors do work. I just wouldn't necessarily layer a gold on top of a green. I might, take green on the outside, gold on the inside, or something like that. But the layering is where I think I went wrong. So I'm going to take responsibility for that and say that it's not the palette's fault. I will use this again. Brushes. These two, the Packer brush and the flat definer brush, I will use again on the lower lash line. I felt that that was so easy at getting color where I wanted it, whereas I do have, if I can find it, a full-size brush of both of these that kind of does the same thing, and I end up, I find, choking up on it anyway, so I think I just have a little bit more control if I just kind of go in with the small one. So these two I will definitely use again. These, they worked, they did what they were supposed to. Were they amazing? No. Are they better than my Morphe brushes? No. But the short handle on these two definitely I find to be an asset. So all in all, I think that this is a win. The lip I am in love with. I'm probably going to go and track down another color in this formula because it does feel very light. It hasn't moved, it hasn't slipped, it's not bleeding. The one thing I will say about it though is probably should have lined my lips just so I could get a little bit more defined Cupid's bow, but that was, again, me, not the lip. The one thing I will say, but that might just be the color, is I can tell that this is going to stain. So maybe not the best idea if, you know, it's something you're using and you don't want a stained lip, but it's kind of one of the things you run into when you use something quite as pigmented, and in this shade, it's going to stain a little bit. And finally, the Cover FX setting spray, and this is the Illuminating setting spray. I am oily, so I don't normally go for illuminating. I do see a nice soft glow on the skin, and there's no real shimmer particles. Like, they're there and they're subtle, but it's not quite as bad as I thought it would be. I do know that this has only been on for a little bit, so this soft lit from within look looks great now. So it's something I'll probably use for other videos or tutorials, or if I just need like an Instagram picture or something. This is not one I think I will ever use long term if I need my makeup to last, because the second I start to get oily, this pretty dewy skin is just going to turn greasy and messy and not a look I like going for. So great product, works really well, not with my skin. And that's the finished review. So the fact that for $21 I got this box and there's really only one product in there that was a dud, I think that this is fantastic. So make sure to look into BoxyCharm. I will leave a link down below of a referral code. Doesn't really do anything for me, just so that you can get on there. And as I said in the description, limited edition box spoilers. For those of you who were able to get it already, earlier this week, BoxyCharm released a limited edition box pre-order code. So it is a $45 value, $44 box, which is double the price we normally pay for the box. But it's going to come with 8 full-size products retailing over $200. So I am so excited for that. They said that Sigma's going to be in the box, Becca, Ofra, Makeup Geek, like these are some big brands that are going to be in there. Cover FX is going to be back in there. So overall, I'm really excited for the limited edition box. I know everybody is. So when that comes out, I will make sure to get on here as early as I can. And make sure to check the description box of this video, because as they release more spoilers for the limited edition box, I will drop it down below. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I do upload twice a week. I know this is going up on a Saturday, so this is outside of my filming schedule, but the second my box comes in the mail, I feel like I have to sit down, film, and post. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.